Hello, BookTube. Sorry for the bombardment of videos, but we got mail. That's always worth a video, yes? So you can put up with 4 videos in one day as a compensation for the days when you get none. So, and the nice thing about this is that none of these things are, not that it isn't nice to get presents in the mail, but all of these things are from publishers. So that's great. That makes me feel like part of the publishing world again. So let's take a look. It's 3 of these white envelopes, and then it's a box. And I think I know what the box is, and I think you do too. So what is this first one? It's a historical murder mystery. Wonderful. Wonderful. I am always in the mood for these. Always. This is by Susanna Calkins, and this is called The Fate of a Flapper. And there's me and Deb on the cover. Fantastic. Looks like this is a finished, yeah, this is a finished trade paperback. So this may have come out, last year. Let's see. Am I going to be able to tell? No, it looks like its publication date is the end of July, and that it's coming out as an $18 trade paperback. So let's see here. Last year, Susanna Calkins introduced her readers to the dark, dangerous, glittering underworld of the 1920 Chicago speakeasy in her debut mystery Murder Knocks twice. I think I remember that. I don't think I ever read it, though. Now, filled with rich historical detail that's not only accurate but detailed. Well, yes, rich historical detail would be detailed, wouldn't it? Calkins brings us back into this world along with her strong cast of unique characters and clever plot lines. In The Fate of a Flapper, where the drinks are flowing and the tensions are rising. After 9 months on the job, Gina Ricci feels like she's finally getting into the swing of things as an employee at the Third Door, one of Chicago's premier moonshine parlors. The year is 1929. The Chicago Cubs are in the World Series. Neighborhood gangs are all powerful. And though prohibition is the law of the land, they can't serve the cocktails fast enough at the Third Door. 2 women in particular, Fruma and Adelaide, are throwing drinks back with abandon while chatting with bankers they've got their eyes on, and Gina can't help but notice that the levels of inebriation and the tension at their table seem almost evenly matched. So all is not happy at the table. When the group stumbles out into the early morning hours, she tries to put them out of her head and finish her shift in peace. But arriving home, Gina's long-for sleep is interrupted when her cousin Nancy, a police officer, calls. She's found a dead body. Gina hurries over with her camera in hand, ready to take photos of the crime scene, but stops short when she recognizes the dead body as one of the tipsy women from the night before. Could the Third Door have served the woman bad liquor that led to her demise, so it's not an obvious homicide? Or, as Gina can't help but wonder, could this be murder? Okay, I'm on board, and the neat thing is I'm literally on board because this is coming out on Tuesday. So I'm perfectly within my rights to put it to the front of the line and read it tonight, unless the other 2 envelopes here have a say in that. So let's give a look-see. I wonder why I'm looking so doomy and gloomy. Can we add some light to this situation? How's that? Is that a little better? I'm awful sheeny though, aren't I? It's like 100 degrees here. I love it. I am basking in it. I'm basking in it. The sheen that you are seeing here is not at all discomfort on my part. The only thing I'm concerned about is Frida, who has been as flat as a flapjack all day long. She hasn't wanted to move because it's so warm. But the sheen may be bothering some of you who are. Can we find a nice middle ground? Look at that. It's like I had a ring light. It's like I was a real booktuber. I can adjust the lighting. There we go. All right. Well, let's try another one of these and get our mind off sheens altogether. It's a horrible split that we're in here. Me and the little dog. It's not actually a split because one must defer to her. Hello, baby. I'm talking about you. Ooh. Here's your baby. Yes. Ooh. Look at all that hair. Serves you in very good stead in the winter. Not so good in the summer. Oh. We'll make it through. It's just a couple more days, and then this heat wave is supposed to break. The temperature's supposed to go down into the low 80s Fahrenheit, and maybe even a couple of days, maybe 4 or 5 days from now, that look like the temperature will struggle to reach 80. That's okay. She's okay with that, and so am I. It's only when it's extreme like this that the split happens, because this is heaven for me. Absolute heaven. I have 3 rules that I have encountered as I have ripened at the old age of 28. And those 3 rules are, I'm always cold, I'm always hungry, and the music is always too loud. And for the last 2 days, one of those 3 rules has not been true. The music from passing cars is still too loud. Don't know how people drive around that way. And I am still always hungry. Simply cannot get enough food. But I am no longer always cold. These last couple of days, with the temperatures up in the 90s, I have been comfortable. It's been wonderful. Sheen or no sheen. But anyway, let's see what this next one is. I won't keep the bean waiting for long. Oh, goodness gracious. I got a Jason Harrigan book by mistake. Well. Okay, this is from Farrar, Straus & Giroux. This comes out in October, fittingly enough, and this will probably come out in October, unless the publishing world unless the Northeast is convulsed in a second wave of the pandemic. I would imagine that these pub dates are fairly firm. This is by Chris Gosden, and it is simply called Magic: A History from Alchemy to Witchcraft, from the Ice Age to the Present. Very much in Jason Harrigan's wheelhouse of the supernatural. Let's see here. I'm excited to share with you Oxford Professor of Archaeology. Oh no, it's Mark Richardson as well. Good Lord, I can't get away from them. Not that I want to. We're besties forever in the OGBG. I'm excited to share with you Oxford Professor of Archaeology Chris Gosden's groundbreaking new work, Magic. The book studies the role of magic across the globe and across 40,000 years, arguing that it is a vital but underexplored aspect of human history, and that without understanding magic, we have a deficient view of what it means to be human. That's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. It's a huge subject. Quite apart from religion, magic, quite apart from religion, is a huge subject. 3 great strands of belief run through our history. Religion is the relationship with one God. Really, Seymour? You think so? More people, more humans have worshipped multiple gods than one God in the history of the species. Okay, I know it's tough to remember in the age of gigantic monotheisms, 3 of them, but nevertheless, more humans have worshipped multiple gods in the history of humans than have worshipped one god. But that's okay, we'll plow on. Or many gods, oh good, nice save, who are the masters of our lives and destinies. Science distances us from the world, turning us into observers and collectors of knowledge. Does it indeed? And magic is direct human participation in the universe. We have influence on the world around us, and the world has influence on us. Okay, that's very well done. It's very well synopsized, except that second one is bothering me. I guess, I mean, the writer of the pub sheet is not stating a personal belief. They're synopsizing, but still, it's a commonly held view that science separates us from the natural world. And I'd like to see how separate from the natural world you feel if you need a scientifically vetted blood transfusion, a plasma transfusion, a cornea transplant. You're not separated from the natural world then. Or at least if you are, you're separated in a way you really like. Anyway, over the last few centuries, magic has developed a bad reputation thanks to the unsavory tactics of shady practitioners and to a successful propaganda campaign on the part of religion and science. 2 prongs coming at it from separate ends. Science has been debunking magic for 400 years, and religion hates magic because there's nothing that organized religion hates more than personal religion. Right? You can't be accessing the favors or the intelligence of the gods on your own, in your own home, in your basement, or in the field with your friends. No. You got to pay for the privilege. So that's great. And science, which denigrated magic as backward, irrational, and primitive. In this book, however, Gosden restores magic to its essential place in the history of the world, revealing it to be an enduring element of human behavior that plays an important role for humans and cultures. From the curses and charms of ancient Greek, Roman, and Jewish magic to the shamanistic traditions of Eurasia, indigenous America, and Africa, from the alchemy of the Renaissance to the condemnation of magic in the colonial period and the mysteries of modern quantum physics. No. There's nothing magical about science. There is nothing magical about the mysteries of quantum physics. The mysteries of quantum physics, as are being lazily alluded to here, are not mysteries at all. It's the most proven, most verifiable, most reliably predictive scientific model that's ever been invented. Just because it's hard for the ordinary person to understand doesn't mean it's magic. But anyway, this book's startling, fun, and colorful work supplies a missing chapter in the story of our civilization. Well, I agree with that. It's an incredibly fruitful subject. Amazing. Drawing on decades of research around the world, touching on the first known horoscope, a statue ordered into exile, and the mystical power of tattoos, Gosden shows what magic can offer us today and how we might use it to rethink our relationship with the world. Well, I'll hope that he doesn't do that. Because what was the trio there? Magic is very much, what was the trio? Backward, irrational, and primitive. But nevertheless, we'll see. This book may be slightly being misserved by its pub sheet, one way or another. This is right up Jason's alley, but I'll read it anyway. I'll read it and enjoy it, I'm sure. I'll have to ask him. There is a book very much like this. A systematic, comprehensive history of magic, of the supernatural. Is it Colin Wilson? I'm blanking on it, but I'll figure it out, or I'll consult. That's it. That's what this is. Fantastic. Okay, it comes. The UK edition apparently elicited huge amounts of blurbs, including from lots of people that I know, lots of names that I know. Great. Okay, so this is slated for right in time for Halloween. This is slated for mid-October, so it's not on the list in the way that The Fate of a Flapper is, but still, it's of intense interest. And then we have the third of these envelopes, and then we get to the box. And I think we know what the box is. We shall see. Oh, great, fantastic. Okay, do we have a pub sheet? If it turns out Frida is very floppy with the heat and the humidity, but if I drop some paper products directly in front of her, she will eat them just a little. She will chew on them just a little. So she's not really leaping around or tearing at anything, but she is right next to me. She's right by my foot. This next one is one that I've heard a lot about, and I'm looking forward to reading. I think it's coming out really soon. Yeah, September 20th or September 1st. So not really soon. This is the advanced copy of Black Spartacus, a new biography of Toussaint Louverture by Sudhir Hazarising. I don't have a pub sheet for it, but let's take a look at what we have here. A new interpretation of the life of the Haitian revolutionary. Among the defining figures of the Age of Revolution, Louverture is the most enigmatic. Though the Haitian revolutionary's image has multiplied across the globe, appearing on banknotes and in bronze, on t-shirts and in film, the only definitive portrait executed in his lifetime has been lost. Well versed in the work of everyone from Rousseau to Machiavelli, he was nonetheless dismissed by Thomas Jefferson as, quote, a cannibal. Jefferson's stock is refreshingly low at the current moment in America. The current moment in America, even some demagogues are coming around to a line of thinking that Steve has been brooding about for, I don't know, 70 years. Two lines of thinking, actually. One, don't tell me that everybody in the 18th century thought it was okay to own human beings as property. Plenty of people at the time did not. Plenty of people at the time thought it was an ethical abomination, and plenty of those people lived right here in Boston. So don't tell me that the founding fathers, well, what were they going to do? They had huge plantations and everybody thought it was okay. No. And line of thought number two, if you are an American citizen and you swear an oath to something called the Confederacy to fight and destroy the United States of America that John and Samuel Adams worked hard to create, you are a traitor. And when the war is over, you don't get sappy, sentimental ballads written about you. You get hanged from the tallest branch of the highest tree. Right up to and including Robert E. Lee and Jefferson Davis. They should all have been killed. All of them should have been executed as traitors to the country. Instead of idealized in syrupy ballads and teary movies and statues all over the country, it's about time that those statues and every single thing commemorated by them is destroyed. It's about time that happened. These people were all fighting for slavery. They were all fighting in direct rebellion against their oath of office to the United States. Anyway, Toussaint wants a word in edgewise. Let's get back to him, shall we? A Caribbean acolyte of the European Enlightenment, Toussaint was also nurtured a class of black Catholic clergymen who became one of the pillars of his rule. And for a leader who once summed up his modus operandi with the phrase, say little but do as much as possible, he was a prolific and indefatigable correspondent, famous for exhausting 5 secretaries he maintained simultaneously at the height of his power in the 1790s. Employing groundbreaking archival research and a keen interpretive lens, the author restores Toussaint to his full complexity in Black Spartacus, at the time when his subject has variously been reduced to little more than a one-dimensional icon of liberty, or criticized for his personal failings, his white mistress, his early ownership of slaves. The author proposes a new conception of Toussaint's understanding of himself and his role in the Atlantic Order in the late 18th century. Okay, well, I think this is going to get reviewed everywhere. so I'm looking forward to it. But like magic, it's not inclination. It's just simple time. It's pushed out of the lineup because it's a little ways down the road. Whereas the murder mystery is an hour's read and is right here. It's right now. It's a few days away. So the reading has been various, but now we have the box. And I'm going to be a little self-conscious because many of you have pointed out that I might have a bit of a problem. But we're going to see if we can control that. We're going to see if we can control the recriminations. Now that's a box, Bean. That's way too big for you, especially in your current depleted state. Yes. Okay. This is my Kindle Fire 10. The 2019 version that is purported to be 30% faster. It's got a better processor, a higher definition screen, and is expandable with the micro SD card that came in the mail. So the same thing. I could put that micro SD card in this. This is my Kindle Fire 8 from a couple of years ago that I love. I like it a lot, and as you can see, as we saw the other day in my tedious tech update, this has a door for a micro SD card. And I got a couple of micro SD cards. I got a small one for the little Kindle, and I got a big one for the big Kindle. But here we have the Kindle Fire 10. So let's take a look. Let's do a genuine tech unboxing, shall we? Just to show that I am the coolest cat in the jungle. So how have I seen tech? Oh yeah, one of the I don't know how familiar any of you are with tech unboxing videos. It's not a question of an introduction, an orientation to the object. That comes later. That's usually a separate video. There is a whole separate culture of actual unboxing videos. Just the act of unboxing and taking the item out of the box fills some atavistic, vicarious need in a huge amount of an audience. These tech channels all have them. They all do them. Where in addition to orienting you on the device, they also take you step by step through how they opened the package, how they took things out, what is actually in there, stuff that you wouldn't think would be of any interest at all. And yet those videos have huge viewerships. So we'll do a little bit of that. You don't care, because you all care about books and Frida. So the packaging here is very minimal. I knew this already from watching the videos that I've watched. It's a cardboard backing, the device, and then a little box at the bottom. The box at the bottom has just a standard USB power cord and a couple of little, so you've bought a Kindle. A couple of little things that, really this is a very self-evident device, except, yeah, here's another one. That's in multiple languages. This is the very basics of how to operate this thing. But any more than that, there is a lot more than that. There's a huge amount of buried stuff that these devices can and will do if you know about it and if you know how to ask for it. But you're not going to find that in these little books. These little booklets aren't anything at all. What you're going to find that online. You're going to find that on YouTube. And I think that Amazon must know that. I think that's why they don't load this down. So you've got a block, a 9-volt block here for plugging into the wall, and a standard USB cord that plugs into this thing to plug it into the device, but it can also plug into your computer if you want to charge it that way. It's not as efficient a way to do it. I'm pretty sure that these Fires come with a small reserve of power. They're probably all charged in a massive bank to 30% before they're shipped. So you get normal power accoutrements there. That's just fine. I have plenty of those, and a lot of tablets nowadays in late 2019 and in 2020 are shipping without this. It's assuming that either you have this or you're going to plug this into your computer directly. So this is all you get. And I wouldn't be surprised if in 2021 they ship without anything at all, just the device, figuring you have tons of these cords. I do. And that you aren't going to use this brick, that you're going to plug it into your computer on the go or something like that. So this is the device. We'll continue with our slow, sensuous unboxing We will open the plastic of the device and slide it out. It's a little bit bittersweet here because I ordered the sky blue, the navy blue version that they have. This 10-inch has a number of different colors, but I'm never going to see it because I'm going to put it in this plastic cover. I got the other day. I got a plastic cover. It also has instructions on how to do this. It has a movable back with an extendable ring there. It's got let's see here, a built-in plastic screen protector that will go over the whole device, and it's got a clear acetate film as well. That you've got one of those for the front and one of those for the rear, I believe. But I'm going to put the device inside here pretty much immediately. So I'll glance at this blue color for a little while, but then I'll never see it again. It's going to go inside protective covering. So here we have the very minimalist design. Same thing as the 8-inch. You've got the speakers there, and the reason that those are there and the positioning might seem a little odd is because Amazon is expecting that you're going to use this in landscape mode as a content consumption device. That's why they put the speakers there, which is kind of odd. You might think that would be odd, but they're expecting that you're going to do this. I am not, but it doesn't matter. Then up at the top you have the volume controls. You have a jack for a headphone. The one accoutrement to this thing that I did not get was a new pair of headphones, because I'm not bothering anybody with my audio ever. Occasionally my surly houseboy is here, but he doesn't care about human things like noise, and there's nobody else. Especially since pandemic, there's nobody else. Nobody within a block, except cars driving by. So I don't have to worry about that. And then you have the power jack right there, and then the power button to turn the thing on and off. And then on this whole side, you have nothing. Is that right? No. On this side, this is where the micro SD card is going to go in, right up there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it. It's a huge micro SD card. The one I got for this big Kindle is a huge one. It's 512 gigs. I'm just going to put it in there. It's flush with the machine. Then I'm just going to snap the door closed and forget about it. So this will have a huge amount of storage, and then nothing on the bottom. So that is my new Kindle, a nice shiny new Kindle Fire 10-inch. And we'll turn it on and see if it has power. Yes, it does. Look at that, huh? Very nice. So I am going to plug this in to the wall and charge it to 100%. That's going to be thing number one. And then thing number two, just because I'm not sure how the oh, look at that, oh my. So I'm gonna have to set this all up with English and my time zone and whatnot. Thing number two, since I'm not sure how these skins and coverings will affect the responsivity, and I tend to over worry about these things, first I will charge this to 100%, and then thing number two I will do is install the Google Play Store before I do anything else. Once I've set it up, I mean once I've logged onto my account and all that, I will install the Google Play Store so that I have the full Android capability of this device instead of the hobbled Amazon experience that they put on here, probably to keep the price down. If they've got a dedicated ecosystem here that's just Amazon, and they've got tons of ads, tons of specifically dedicated apps that are nowhere else, that probably helps them. The financial deals there probably help them to keep the price down, which is fine by me because this was dirt cheap. So first I'll do that. I'll install the Google Play Store. Hopefully that will work just fine. I'm hoping that that works just fine. There's always a moment of flutter of worry. It's actually a very simple procedure, but we shall see. And then when I'm done with that, I will take time to very carefully install this protection. I don't want to have to do it over. And I know from experience, I used to sell Barnes & Noble Nooks to customers, and I would often, they would say, should I buy protection for this thing? Should I get a screen protector or maybe a case? And the Barnes & Noble line, the corporate line, the managers, the little, just add water, 20-minute managers that would come by, these little kids, would come by and tell me that it's the corporate line that you have to do that. You have to sell that to them. You have to upsell. And I would smile and nod, and occasionally I would get an abrasive little 20-something that would say, "Do you understand me? Please tell me that you understand me." And I would say, "Yes, I understand you. I have no intention of doing that unless it's natural. So take a hike." And they never knew what to do about that. They never knew what to do about that. They would go to the store manager, they'd go to the district manager. Some guy told me to take a hike when I ordered him around, and the district manager would say, I know who that is, and you really ought to take a more diplomatic tone with everybody, not just with him. But if the customer asked me, I would certainly raise the subject with every customer. I'd say, you know, it's a delicate screen. One scratch on it and you'll never get it back. So you might want to buy protection. And we sell that. We sell screen protectors that are form-fitting. You'll never know it's there. We sell plastic cases and armor and whatnot. And very often customers would say, oh, can I have some help laying that acetate on? I'm not sure that I'll do it right. And I didn't do it right a lot of the time until I got a little better at it. So I will take my time to make sure that the protection goes on this thing perfectly. Those will be the first 3 steps. First, charge it to full power. Second, install the Google Play Store. Third, put all of this protection that I bothered to buy on it. Then I will install the big micro SD card, and boom, then I will have a fully functional, full-sized Android tablet that has a huge amount of space on it, and that is great. That will be my last tech purchase in July. So there you go. We have 3 books and the potential for millions of books. So we have The Fate of a Flapper, A History of Magic, and a biography of St. Donoghue. So that's fantastic. 2 books that are way down the line, so I don't have to worry about them much. And then one that I will read tonight, gladly. I'll read it tonight. Historical murder mysteries are right up my alley, unless it's really bad. We shall see. So there you go. A little late mail haul. Sorry about that. I'm going to wrap this up for now. We will get back down to 2 videos tomorrow so that you don't have to see this face quite as much during the day. I'm going to wrap this up and then see what can be done about a longish walk. I don't know how that's going to work with the bean. She may poop out right away. I will report back tomorrow, though. No more videos from me today, so I will see you later. Thank you, BookTube.